All right, hey, this is Dan from Fisher Jeep Adventures, and I'm going to go over my Overland setup, and I think we're going to try and make some changes. But let's go over what my setup is first. So if this is something you're interested in, please stick around for the video. I've got a bunch of videos on how we use the setup on the channel, and a lot of the camping that we've done over the last year and a half or so. I think one of the cool things about Jeeps and overland vehicles in general is the ability to change things, the ability to kind of use something for a little bit and then decide that maybe you want to go a little different route, and then have the flexibility to make some of those changes. So we'll talk about some of the things that I like and that we're going to keep, and then we'll talk about some of the things that I think I want to change. So one of the first things that we are going to take off is this high lift jack. High lift jack. So I've had it on here just because I had it. Jacob had this mount on his Jeep and he didn't want it anymore, so we put this on there. I've never ever used it, and it's going to come off. On the front of the Jeep, we have our 12,000 pound Smittybilt winch, which has been great. We've got the KC lights up on the ditch lights and then on the front, and they have been awesome, and those are going to stay. I do not like this, and Yankum Ropes makes a fairlead that uses a that doesn't have anything that sticks out, so you get rid of all the metal and the synthetic winch line, and it just basically uses a soft shackle to kind of wrap everything around, and I think we're probably going to invest in that. So inside we have a phone mount, we have a mount for the GoPro, we have a place for a tablet, and then a place for our GPS tracker. And then up top we have the camera. So we're gonna keep all of those things in place. I love the setup that I have on my 67 Design Series rail. I really like how all that stuff is laid out, so we're not going to change any of that. On the doors, we have these metal cloak steps, which are great for getting up top, and so these are awesome, and I really like them. I thought about adding another pair up front, and we might do that. So in the back, we created this platform. It sets on top of the water tank. We have a place for our battery, which is in here, and then a propane tank. Removing the seats, we have our ARB air compressor and mount, and then all of our electronics back here. So this is something I think we're going to change. So I have transitioned to doing a lot of hiking and backpacking, and I need my back seat back. So I think what we're going to end up doing is pulling that platform, pulling the water tank, reconfiguring the whole back of the Jeep so that I can put the back seat back in. And I think that's going to give us a little more versatility, because some of the backpacking and hiking trips, I have a separate hiking channel, shameless plug for Plan to Hike on YouTube, where there's a bunch of content. I just got the channel started, so if you like backpacking and you like backpacking gear, please check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. So in the back is our drawer system. So we have our dometic fridge, which I love, which we're going to keep. We have the Vector off-road shelf, which I'm going to put back in the original brackets. And then this drawer system, I think we're going to take all that out and kind of redo some stuff. It's been super functional for what we had it for. The drawers have been great. I've taken a lot of stuff out right now, so there's not a lot of stuff in here. And then the double drawer cutting board stove was a great setup for how we were using it. So for me, I'm a tinkerer, so I like to kind of continually do things. So we've had this set up for now for, I don't know, about a year and a half. And so it's kind of time for a change, I think. I want to kind of do something different. And like I said, one of the great things about overlanding and overlanding setups is you can always kind of change and refine things. So on the top of the Jeep, we went with a bunch of these roam boxes for storage. I really like how that's set up. and we are going to leave that as it is. I just did a review on these milestar Patagonia MT tires, and we are going to keep these until the tread wears off, and they need to be changed. But after that happens, I think I'm going to go back with a all-terrain tire, probably a BF Goodrich all-terrain tire. Gives us a little bit smoother ride, and with all the wheeling that I've done, I've never found an instance where someone I was riding with that had all-terrain tires couldn't go where I was. And so I think a smoother ride, better gas mileage, and a little bit quieter on the road is going to be good for us. And the suspension, we have our Falcon shocks, the metal cloak drop brackets, the AV Overland springs. All of that has been great, and I'm not going to change any of that. I really enjoy the ride that the Jeep has. I think the suspension articulates and travels just like it's supposed to for everything I needed to do. I've never found a problem where articulation is an issue. This Jeep platform, the JLUR Rubicon, with all of the features that it has, is an incredible machine off-road, and we're not going to do any more modifications for that. The only thing I may add is a skid plate, a larger skid plate for the gas tank. So the tailgate table, our front runner, has been great. It works awesome. And we use this all the time, and it's going to stay. The last thing we have is this cargo net from Blue Ridge Adventure Gear, and this is awesome. It may hang a little bit too low once the seats installed again, and but we'll see. Other than that, it's been a great addition to everything. The last thing up here is the ARB awning, which we used quite a bit, and that's going to stay as well. So it's got a lot of versatility and utility, and we're going to continue to keep that on. So that's kind of our Overland setup. I think it's very functional. It works for me and everything that I'm going to do. The only changes that we really need is I want that back seat back to be able to carry an extra person, and just kind of refine how our setup is going to be. So a lot of the hike-in trails that we do are point to point, so I need to be able to leave a vehicle at one end of the trail and then go to the other, and sometimes that means I got to have more room for passengers, since I can only carry 2 with this setup. So that's kind of why we're going to put the seat back in, and then that's going to allow me to get creative with how I want the back to be set up. So you know, other than that, I'm really happy with how the Jeep has been. I have had 0 issues with it, and I really like our setup. So that's kind of the overview, and in the next couple of videos, we're going to start tearing everything apart and then figuring out how we need to rebuild it to continue to function the way that we want to. So hope you guys got something from the video. Hope you guys, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, share, leave me a comment. If you have an idea of maybe something that you think I should do, please leave it in the comments below, and we'll have plenty of time, because it's going to take me a little while to kind of tear things down, and then we'll have a blank slate to kind of put stuff back. And I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.